Hello, back again with Coffee Empire. We're on part 5, and I want to apologize to everybody about part 4. Um, Mic messed up, and I didn't record nothing of the sound, so probably gonna do a little time lapse video on that one. Try to speed up the time and just play some music through it. But I want to go ahead and apologize about it. So what we were talking about on the last one is putting down the factory over here, and we would have to buy a gas tank because to roast the coffee beans you need diesel. We'll take a quick look at it. But I did do stuff off camera. We sold all the stuff and all the coffee beans. But I believe it's 80,000 for the coffee. Yeah, it's 80,000. And as you see, we're right there at it. We'll we'll get the tractor out and we'll go ahead and cut some of this grass to give us something to do. And we'll go ahead and quickly put some water in all these greenhouses real quick. Figure if we do two tanks each for right now, we should be good. That'll be enough to get into the day. But we are going to have to upgrade our tractor. It does not want to pull that trailer. It's just a little too heavy. But we are looking at trying to get the Unimog that's in the truck area, not the Unimog that's in the tractor area. The one that's in the truck area, it gets a higher horsepower rating than the one in the tractor area, and it's cheaper. But I figure with that we would be able to get the little tank that's bigger than this one, and we'd be able to pull it behind that a lot easier than this one. This one just doesn't have enough horsepower for this. If you catch it right before it makes it to 100%, it'll keep the water on that's filling the tank, and it'll take the water out the tank slower because you're still putting water in the tank. So like if you hit the stop filling button when it's draining, you can actually see a difference in the speed, how fast it goes down. But one of the things I was talking about in the last video was while we were cutting down these trees, I was saying how that's how I got hurt. Last year, I was cutting down a tree that was rotten on my property, and it ended up trying to hit me, and I ended up having to move out the way, and I kind of landed wrong. Ended up breaking the knuckle right where your knee is, and done had 2 surgeries. I've been down for 11 months now, or right at 11 months. And yeah, right now I've got a metal plate and like 9 screws in there, and it's been a eye-opening experience. It kind of messed me up. I just got to where I could walk with a cane. I wasn't able to walk for like 4.5 months, 5 months without having to use the I couldn't walk. I had to kind of keep that foot completely off the ground. It messed me up pretty good. And I still have a problem walking on it. Even with using the cane, if I do too much walking, it hurts, it swells up. It still bothers me a lot. And I just don't know if it'll ever be right. Alright, I'm going to try to put in a little quick time lapse right here and get all the plants watered real quick. got some water in them. We do need to come over here and get some more herbicide. I mean, liquid fertilizer. But we are getting close to being able to buy that facility. There are going to be some things that we are going to have to buy to be able to use it. Like I was saying, we're going to need some way of getting diesel to it, because it requires diesel to roast the peanuts. I mean, the coffee beans. We still got that little piece of a tank in there that we can use. It shouldn't be about maybe like 100 liters, maybe 200 liters. We should be able to just throw the rest of it in the first one. And we should end up having a little bit left over from this. So I do want to try on this episode, to go ahead and get that facility set up. Start trying to get some beans, get them roasted. We'll start making a lot more money off of it. Once we start making more money, we'll be able to expand further. Like I said, I want to buy a couple more properties, and then we'll start being able to expand and take out some of these other properties. Yeah, they were completely empty. I don't know how I'm gonna get that out. And you can see that some of these water pumps, they do work slower than the other ones. I do want to change those out. I think the one that we put over there is faster. But we're going to make this a quick month. I hate being out in the snow. We'll put a couple more things of water it down real quick, and then we'll go ahead and jump forward. I'm not even worrying about the beans this month. No, we do have that one of the coffee greenhouses, and it is on auto sell. it just helps me out a little bit. Because, I mean, there's still 2 more to do. And until we get some bigger equipment, it's just going to be the same thing over and over. But I do want to go ahead and widen our path here and maybe go ahead and sell our tent and upgrade the living status so at least we have a little house to stay in. It's all about advancing. We can't always live in the tent, especially not in the cold. Put a new farmer's house down. We're still poor, so we're just going to move up to the $1,000 thing. It looks a little better than the tent. Alright, let's go ahead and jump forward. No more snow. Yeah, the greenhouses are empty. We didn't give them enough water. Let's go ahead and just get a little bit of water into each one of them. Get them going again. And then we'll start running some of these coffee beans. As you see, we did get a little bit of money from the coffee beans. From that one selling while we were sleeping. But I'll get just enough in here to get them all going, and then we'll start running some beans. Now there are these water tanks I want to try, and I'll have to go find them in Mod Hub. But you're supposed to be able to sit them there, and it's supposed to automatically water your greenhouses for you. Because I know y'all rather see me do other stuff than just putting water in the greenhouses. I want to get into one of these other fields so we can do a little harvest. Maybe possibly put one of the constructible houses, and have to go buy the materials and take it over there. Make us a nice farmhouse. Maybe we can convince Walter into selling us his property over there across the street. I don't know what we'd do with some of the stuff. Probably get rid of the silos. Build us a nice garage for the tanker and the semi. we got those going at least. They can start making some more. But when we gotta buy some of these properties, we're gonna make sure that we're not just straight losing money on renting the harvesters to do the crops. But I mean, this tractor is struggling with a full load. And it's only 20,000 liters. I don't know what that comes out to on weight plus the weight of the trailer, but we're definitely going to have to upgrade him. And that'll make this process a little bit faster because we'll be able to travel back and forth faster. And then we'll be able to even get a bigger trailer. And that'll make the money come in faster. But I think I want to work on the watering tanks next. Get those put in so that we can get away from watering those plants. Because I mean, once we get about 10 to 15 of them in, it's gonna be like an all-day process trying to just water the plants. Well, today's prices are a little better. We got 41.32. We're almost at 70,000. We're so close. But we do need 80,000 for the plant. But then we need to buy a small fuel tanker so that we can bring diesel to the farm. So I'm not sure if I should just get another greenhouse and go ahead and make more money that way, or just go ahead and get the processing plant. There's a bad thing about having a small tractor. If you get caught on anything, you ain't got the power to pull it off. When we get over here and drop this off, we'll look at the difference again real quick and see how much raw coffee beans go for compared to roasted coffee beans. Because we'll be getting to that shortly. I mean, we're only probably 25,000 away from it. I mean, even if we just buy a little fuel tanker, we can always just make a couple of runs. It shouldn't use a lot of diesel. 53. Yeah, I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, we're going from hundreds to, or 100 to 200 to 5,000. But I don't know what the loss ratio is, or if it's still like a 1-to-1 ratio. One coffee bean in, one coffee bean out. Just with the cost of diesel. I'm just gonna drive across their field. They won't mind. It would be nice to get a bigger trailer. If we go across the field loaded, we might get stuck. Some of these tractors, they're pretty cool when you're sitting in the driver's seat. Well, like I said, I used to have a tractor like this one. It was a I believe it was 83 International Harvester 450, a Universal 450, or Utility 450, something like that. I can't remember. It just had the bucket on the front, and you could tell it was some type of aftermarket setup. But all it had was a RPM gauge and a fuel gauge. And then of course, your levers. And right before I got hurt, I had one of the TYM tractors, one of the homeowners style. It was a little bigger than the lawnmower one, but not the biggest one. So it was just still a little guy. I think it weighed like 3,500 pounds, something like that. It had the bucket on the front and the backhoe on the back that you could take on and off. It put in a lot of work. I used it on the property to cut down and move trees. In first person mode, it looks like you're going so much faster. Alright, y'all, we're gonna call it here on this one. I'll get the rest of these beans sold off camera and get them all ordered up. And I'll catch you on the next one. And we'll be in the next month. We should have the money, or we do got the money for the facility, but we'll have to get the money for the tanker. And then we won't have to make this long trip anymore. We'll just make a short trip. Alright, y'all. If y'all do like the videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.